Yeah, you know what it is.
Woo!
Boston has entered the chat. George Balecki here. He's Travis Thomas.
Remember
in the
Raise the Roof?
PNC Bank Studios. We got you guys locked in for the latest happening all across sports. But if you want to join the chat, email the chat at nesson.com. Call on in 617-790-0928. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Prime, please like, subscribe, rate, and review. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, hit the subscribe or follow button and leave a comment too. Join the convo as well. Trav,
Hey,
how we doing today, bro?
I'm doing great, man.
Did I bring the energy right? They
You
trust
always
me.
bring the
They're
energy.
trusting me to drive the Lambo truck today.
You always bring the energy, bro.
All right.
Always.
Hey, when it's with you, I know I got to do it right.
Let's go.
Hey, let's get going. We started on what's trending. Latest news in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, my eyes jumped off the timeline when I saw
You
this.
texted me.
But
you
all
broke
made
the
sense,
news to me.
right? I'm like, drop it
Yeah.
right now.
You were Woj. You were my Woj bomb. I appreciate
That's
it.
like the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, you were.
Now I get
You were
why
on it.
Woj and Schefter are like psychos because
Yes.
like that rush can't be beat.
You broke it.
Russell Westbrook traded from the Clippers to the Jazz,
Right.
which you called salary dumping move.
Called it.
Bought out by the Jazz in Utah, and then now signing with the Denver Nuggets.
Yes.
Great move for Denver. Great move for Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, look. Well, first let's go back. So you said I called it, right? So you did break the news that Westbrook was traded to Utah. And the first thing, my first reaction, my raw, honest reaction was, there's no way he's leaving the crib, L.A., where he's from,
Yep.
and playing for the Utah Jazz. That's not going to happen. That's not happening.
It's the second time he's been traded
That's
to the
right.
Jazz.
And the second time, he ain't playing for them. And I knew that. So I was like, well, now immediately my brain went to buy out, where's he going to end up? And initially I thought,
Yeah.
what's a team that has missed out on stars, that has swung and missed repeatedly, not just this offseason, but past offseason, going back to Bradley Beals and Dame Lillards of the world. And I figured it would be the Heat.
I was thinking that too.
I thought he would go to Miami.
Yeah.
And in a way, it would be settling for Miami to just say, all right, we whiffed on the guys we actually wanted, but here's a dude that's available. We'll bring him in. He does fit that Heat culture of what they want to do, hard-nosed, defense, all that. And then almost immediately after thinking that, the news came out that it's the Nuggets. And I thought, Now, if this was, call it 2-3 years ago, I would say this is a terrible fit. Because in Russ's mind, 2 or 3 years ago, he was still peak Russell Westbrook. And he wasn't. We saw the erosion of his game. We saw the jumper just go to hell in a handbasket. We didn't see the same explosion. We saw Father Time catch up to Russell Westbrook. But mentally, as a lot, I'm not knocking him for this. A lot of great players have this trait. This is what makes them great. But it also hurts them later, where he couldn't really see that he was past his prime. Now, where he is now in his career, George, I think this is a great fit for both parties. I think it works for Russ and it works for the Nuggets because he's already been humbled. He's already come off the bench. He already now, I think, realizes, yeah, I'm not the best shooter you've ever seen. Let's just get to the rack. Yeah, good call, right? He does still bring energy like he did in his prime. He is a willing, capable defender. I think this works. I think he comes off of Denver's bench, and he provides all the things I just said. Energy, leadership, veteran leadership, defense. He's a veteran. It's not some young kid trying to fit in. I think it works in Denver. And I think now it's clear to him at this point of his career, too, this is ring chasing. I mean, Russell Westbrook, when the smoke clears on his career, George, he's going to have all the stats. He's going to have all the accolades. He's going to have the records. He's missing a ring. And no one's going to knock him, by the way.
No.
When it's over and say, well, he went to the Nuggets and he did. No, he's going to matter. Like, he's going to come off the bench. He's going to be a cog in that machine that is the Nuggets if they are to win a ring. I think this works. I'm okay with it.
I love it. I don't think he's not taking a ridiculous payday.
Right.
And this is brilliant by him because let's say he stays in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Paul George is gone. Kawhi's undependable. That Clippers team as a whole is further from contending for the West alone right now than they were last season.
Yes.
Say if he went to Miami, Same thing. That he doesn't add anything to the Heat, doesn't move the needle. Right now in the world of the second apron in the NBA, you either need to be a foundational piece or you need to go with the team already with the foundation. They have that in Jokic. They have it in Jamal Murray and the guys around him. He comes in and he is their KCP replacement defensively on the perimeter, not shooting-wise unless he can regain his shot.
Yes.
But right now, he is closer to a ring than he was even last season and this offseason. Great move for Russ. Great move for Denver. Bringing a veteran. And like you said, he's humble. The best Carmelo Anthony I saw was the one that played in Portland. Understood his role, was about team basketball, and we saw a resurgence in his career. Yes, in New York, he was a bucket, but as a basketball player, that was the best basketball he played. Smartest, best team basketball, most cohesive for winning. That's what Russell Westbrook will get in Denver. This is a great move on his part, and this stuff, he doesn't get traded to Utah without knowing the final destination.
That's right.
You're going to get traded to Utah. They're going to figure it out. And that's the agents talking where he's going to get bought out. No one else is signing him. Don't even bother. He's going to Denver.
By the way, I'm
NBA.
just kind of thinking out loud here. But the Clippers, they're in a tight spot a little bit because I'm not saying Russ is like selling tickets because this is not prime Russ, as we discussed. But still, he's from there. He's a big name. He's a Hall of Famer. So now he's gone. Paul George, who really has been your best player, because Kawhi's never available. Paul George is gone. Now Russ is gone. I mean, you're putting all those eggs in the Kawhi Leonard basket.
Don't forget about Jimmy Harden.
And James Harden, and you're in a new building, and you're trying to...
It's bad. It's bad. Harden's going to put up numbers. It's not going to lead to anything special. Kawhi's not going to be there. And that's me because you're asking more on Jimmy Harden.
Yeah.
Second stuff gets tight in the playoffs. He's going to disappear.
That's what I'm saying. They're in a tight spot.
Hey, so we're talking about futures. Let's talk about the WNBA. Caitlin Clark breaks a single game record for assists in a WNBA game with 19. She scored or assisted for 66 points. Now, the Fever lost. This is ridiculous. She broke Courtney Vandersloot's record of 18, which came in a playoff game. She broke the record of 65 points scored or assisted, set by Diana Taurasi. So we're talking about two greats in the game. She always was a great passer in college. Like watching her at Iowa, yes, she's a bucket first and foremost. On the fast break and even in the half court, she knows that the attention she gets, how to open things up for her teammates. We see this in the WNBA. She's already set the single season record for assists. She's making history. This is just another checked box on her way to superstardom in the WNBA. They're losing right now. It's setting the foundation, get the experience. She's just a bucket. She's one of the best players.
I mean, bro, you know what I thought about? Because this is tremendous, and we could spend the rest of the show talking about how great Caitlin Clark is. Because we've done it. Like, we've already done it on this show and others. We're huge fans of hers. But I immediately thought about how ridiculous, even in all this greatness and breaking records and all that, I still went to a negative place. I thought, how ridiculous is Team USA to not have her on the team? It's just dumb. At this point now, it is so obvious. At the time when they announced she wouldn't be on the team, we talked about it. We were all ticked off. Like, she clearly deserves it. She's going to bring eyeballs to the game, blah, blah, blah. But now, so since then, she's just been balling. And who couldn't see this coming? She's getting better after every game.
Her scoring, her shooting has gone up
everything.
Before this dropped, she was averaging almost 10 assists a night too.
Bro, we knew it. We could see it. She's getting better with each and every game. And here we are. And she's not. And then Diana Taurasi gets hurt. And it was like, oh, this could be Caitlin's chance. Taurasi's back now. It's not going to happen. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It just, I know we're supposed to be talking about her greatness, and she is. But my God, that's the first thing that came to my mind was like, why isn't she on Team USA? It's ridiculous, and it feels very gatekeeping to me. And it's the wrong move. The WNBA can't get out of its own way when it comes to Caitlin Clark. It's ridiculous.
And it's not even close the margin of victory for them to get a gold. They're about to get their 6th straight. Her being on that roster, it was a who would you leave off, whatever. Her being on that roster wouldn't have shortchanged the team at all. Yes. And if anything, it'd be important for her to get that experience
too.
All right. What else was trending?
Yeah.
You see Michael Rubin try to throw a baseball?
So look, I know we have the video.
Pull it up. If for people listening, it literally looks like what an alien would do it makes 50 Cent look accurate. Because 50 Cent at least has a form. There are 2 throws, and the windup is the ugliest part. The end result is just as disastrous. But you can tell Michael Rubin never threw a baseball in his life. And this is exactly how I would expect a guy that throws the annual look at me buying my friend's party in all white to throw a baseball. It's also what you would expect for the guy that owns a sports outfitting company, a sports apparel company that ruined jerseys and baseball, how to throw a baseball. Because he clearly never threw a baseball. So even if they were like, hey, Michael, this is how the new MLB jerseys are going to fit. You sure you want to go with this? Then he does that. He's like, yeah, it's good. Look, I just threw the baseball. It reached where it had to be.
Let me defend Michael Rubin. You can look this up while I'm talking. I threw out a first pitch for
what?
I don't know their affiliation. That's why I want you to look it up. Look up Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. My hometown, right? So my hometown reached out to me. This was years ago. I think I was on TV in DC at the time. They reached out to me.
Is there a video?
Yeah, it's on my phone somewhere.
Right.
I'll show it to you off air. But
no,
they reached out to me.
Yeah.
And was like, "Can you throw out the first pitch for one of our games?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" But I didn't play baseball growing up. I'm a Maryland kid, so where I'm from, in the spring there were baseball players. Don't get me wrong, there were great baseball players. But really, where I grew up, it was lacrosse. So I didn't grow up playing baseball at all.
Typical
now
Marylander.
I'm athletic enough. If you get me to this day in a batting cage or whatever, I can hit the ball. But I never was a pitcher or any of that. So I practiced throwing because I was like, I refuse to go out here to the 5 people that actually know who I am, and they came with me. They're my family, okay? I refuse to go out here and embarrass myself. So I practiced. I didn't have that much of a heads up, probably 3 or 4 days. And I'm telling you, I wore my arm out to the point where the day before I threw the first pitch, I couldn't practice because my arm was sore. So I was like, all right, let me chill so it's fresh. And it was. And I was fine. And one of the things I noticed in my practice was when I tried to throw super hard.
No, just get it there.
For velocity and look cool.
Just get it there.
I didn't look as bad as my man did, but it wasn't on target. I was throwing hard, but it was all over the place, right? Mm-hmm. And so I said, okay, I need a good combo. I need enough velocity where it goes over the plate. I didn't want a one-hopper. But at the same time, I needed it to hit that catcher in his glove, or at least if he moved a little, it wasn't a big deal.
Did it reach a plate?
Oh, yeah. But because I took some vinegar off of it, and I aimed right, and it went right over the plate. So in theory, if you're sitting in the stands, because the people I brought with me, friends and family, they would have kept it oh so real, just like my man George here. Now, I didn't know George back then, but one thing about George, I mean, if we have a bad show, particularly me, he's going to let me know it out of love.
But that doesn't exist.
Well, thank you. So, like the people in the stands who were there for me kept it real, and they were like, you did a great job. I was like, oh, thank God, because I know they would have told me. I think Michael Rubin here, brother, stop trying to throw hard. It is clear to me you have never thrown anything in your life. A baseball, a football, a party with friends that you didn't pay for. I mean, you ain't thrown a damn. So what you need to do is just focus on fundamentals, brother. Don't try to throw so damn hard. Who do you think you are? Because I promise you, you ain't. Just get the fundamentals down and just get the ball over the plate. That's all you got to do, and he'd be all right. You looking up what are they? I don't even know.
They're independent league.
Okay. There you go. Shout out to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs back home.
He grew up in Philly, like the Philly area. You had to have had a catch growing up with your boys.
Clearly not.
Bro,
that doesn't look like he's ever thrown anything.
Well, I didn't even look up his net worth. I assume it's billions. I don't know. It's very close.
Yeah.
I assure you, when I am reaching that, I am making time out of my day to get outside and throw a football, a baseball.
Yes.
Bro, you throw parties in the Hamptons. There are beaches there.
Facts.
You have Tom Brady there.
Facts.
You're not throwing something?
Facts.
Like I said, for those that are listening, literally what you'd expect an alien to do if they were given a baseball and said to throw it. My 6-year-old niece can throw a softball.
Oh, no
better.
doubt. Absolutely.
Oh, dude, she's got accuracy. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Both of my kids can launch.
Yeah, impressive.
Both
All right.
of them.
Hopefully he has an appetite. You see the new Royals K Taco they got
I did.
at
Okay.
Kauffman Stadium?
I did see this.
So it is a hot dog wrapped in cheeseburger quesadilla, a hot dog, but the bun is a cheeseburger quesadilla, as I repeat myself. Then on top, it's barbecue brisket, fries, lettuce, pickled onions, sriracha Cracker Jacks,
That's
and
good
barbecue
eating.
sauce.
That's good eating.
I'd eat this.
I would too.
My thing, it's missing. You're in Kansas City. Where are the burnt ends?
Well, it's
Kansas
got
City
brisket, right?
It's got no, but
I know.
and brisket's probably more suitable for this setting.
Yeah, but burn ends.
I would hit the Cracker Jacks off, but I would munch on them after.
Yeah,
I would try it.
I would try it.
The next day wouldn't be good.
Oh no.
But I'd try it.
No, next day, my arse, literally the same day would not be good. A few hours after would not be good. But I'd try it. I don't know. Here's where I'm at with it. I don't know. I guess I can't really say this. I was gonna say I would try it and back off. There's no way I'm eating that whole thing to completion. But then again, you take a couple bites and it's good. You're going in. You're gonna finish it. So I can't. And I'm a savage. So I can't sit here and act like if I took a bite or two and liked it that I wouldn't finish it. I would finish it. But one thing for sure, after all that stuff you named, you will
Be dead.
pay the price for that choice. It's a poor life decision that you're making there. What throws me off, because all that stuff sounds good, two things come to mind. First of all, I don't think I've ever had a cheeseburger quesadilla, so I'm intrigued. Secondly,
I think it's like cheeseburger layered.
what do you mean? So it's a quesadilla and the
So
inside
quesadilla is
cheeseburger.
like folded.
It's like ground beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I've never had that. I've had a steak quesadilla. I had a chicken quesadilla. I have a shrimp quesadilla. I ain't never had no damn cheeseburger quesadilla. So it's not a big deal. I'm just saying, like, I'd like to see what that's like. I ain't never had that before. And then the second thing that stood out to me was, what the hell are Cracker Jacks doing on this?
Oh, it's baseball. That's what they're doing.
No, I get that, bro. But I'm saying,
but
like,
you know
it doesn't.
what?
It's dumb to put it on.
If they didn't, this is brilliant, because if they didn't have the Cracker Jacks, you'd be like, that's just like a meat lover's thing. I'll try. The Cracker Jacks adds what the F are the Cracker Jacks doing there? And that's what gets people going, oh, this is weird.
Yeah, I see. Okay, all right. Well, you answered that one. Yeah, okay. I'd try it.
We provide answers here on
You gotta drink
Bosses
a
End
beer.
of
You
the
gotta drink
Chat.
a beer with that though, right?
God.
You
Yeah.
gotta wash that down with a strong.
Oh,
I need
my-
an IPA for that one, right?
the food hangover and the beer hangover after that. A couple IPAs and that. Wouldn't be pretty.
No doubt.
Best quesadilla in the
Yeah.
city, by the way. I'll
Yeah.
tell you. Go to La Posada in Somerville.
Oh,
A quesadilla is so good,
Yeah.
you'll want to go into the kitchen and hug the chef.
wow.
Yes.
Bro, the last place you sent me in Somerville was a pizza joint.
Yep.
Where my wife didn't like the attitude of the people that work. We won't say the name. Don't say the name.
But
the pizza was banging.
exactly. And they are like 10 for 10. They treat everyone that way. So it wasn't you or
Yeah,
the
that's
wife.
what you told her. You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they're jerks. It is what it is.
But the pizza's amazing.
The pizza's banging.
Somerville's got the best food in the city.
Changed my life forever.
In my opinion. You know where we're a week away from, bro?
What?
The Olympics. Paris.
Am I a bad American
Bonjour.
for not being that
No, I
excited?
think it's fine.
Is it weird
But
that
you're
I'm not
going to tune in.
excited?
We're going to start getting locked
Of course. Yeah, of course.
in. So, love this idea. Our producer Ante came up with. A week away from the Olympics, we're going to build the perfect U.S. Olympian.
Oh.
So we're going to do speed, athleticism, stature, strength, stamina, personality, heart, IQ, and intangibles. But they have to be a U.S. athlete.
Okay.
So like you said, speed, I'm going Usain Bolt. I said, you can't.
Right.
It's Jamaica.
Yeah.
Speed is the one I couldn't lock in on.
Why not? You have so many options.
My brain goes to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, what's wrong
Right?
with that?
I wanted something faster, sexier.
Where'd you end up going? You're not there yet? Because I got one.
Where do you got?
Do you remember Michael Johnson, Olympian?
Yeah.
Gold medal? So I went him. And the reason I went him is because if you remember, he ran the 200 and the 400 meter.
Okay.
So in my head, I'm like, I would, instead of short distance speed, 100, 40-yard dash like a Tyreek Hill, I mean, brother, you're running the 200 and the 400. That's sustainable speed.
Yeah, true.
And if you remember, he used to wear those gold shoes, those gold track shoes. I mean, them things would just be flying around the track. So I feel like Michael Johnson, especially in the spirit of the Olympics, I feel like that's a good choice because it's not just out of the gate speed. He can sustain it the whole time.
I like that. You got to go track speed on this.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go Michael Johnson.
All right, cool.
I'm cool with that. I'm not gonna.
We'll see how many of these we agree on.
All right, athleticism. Who are you going with? Now, there's a difference between speed and athleticism.
Of course. And it's funny you brought up Tyreek Hill because that's where I went here.
Oh.
When you combine the speed, he's called the cheetah. But if you look at Tyreek Hill's, social media or any training videos of him, which I have, he plays a lot of basketball. He dunks on people. Agility-wise, you see him on the speed ladder or cones. It's ridiculous. Footwork, agility. Athleticism, I'll go Tyreek Hill here.
2012 LeBron. Miami Heat LeBron.
Specific LeBron. Heat LeBron was different.
Well, if I say LeBron, everyone's saying LeBron now. I'm talking Miami Heat LeBron.
Yeah, prime LeBron.
Sickest athlete we've ever seen on a basketball court.
Facts.
That's my Olympian.
I can't argue.
So we go 2012 LeBron on this one?
Well, I got some more bronze coming up. So let's table
mine has
this one.
2012 LeBron. Stature. So this is build.
This is build.
Height.
Okay.
Weight.
Any LeBron is where I went here. That's why I said I want to table 2012.
I'm going intimidation. Ben Wallace.
But he's not the athlete of a LeBron.
But he has the athleticism.
The stature.
You have his size.
Who's bigger?
How yoked
out of those
he
two?
is.
Ben Wallace bigger?
Ben Wallace is probably wider.
I'm going to look it up.
I think if you go exact height and weight, they honestly might be very close.
That's what I'm saying. Pound for pound, like who's
But
bigger?
I am like the literal build of Ben Wallace.
Big cat, dog.
Shoot, put for the look, give me Ben Wallace. Fear the fro, give me that Ben Wallace. You're getting intimidation.
I want to look this up. All right, he's 6'9", 240. LeBron's like
bigger.
6'8", 2 what?
He's 6'8", 260.
Oh my God.
Maybe 250. All depends.
Bro, he's bigger than Ben Wallace? That's insane.
But the way Ben Wallace carries that weight, arms are a little bigger, more yoked.
Yeah, LeBron's a little bigger, 6'9", 250.
I'm still going with Ben Wallace.
I don't hate the Ben Wallace, the shoulders. I always thought stature-wise, Dwight Howard was always impressive too. Because he's 7 foot, I think, or close to it, and maybe, I don't know, 6'10", whatever.
I was thinking
and
like
the shoulders.
96 Shaq before he put on
Lean.
weight, moving like a gazelle too.
Bro, honestly, when he was skinny, like LSU Shaq was different.
David Robinson. 94 MVP year.
He's a true 7-footer. Run the floor. Super. I don't hate David Robinson. We might have landed on this together.
Let's do David Robinson.
Let's go David Robinson.
Admiral.
He's a physical freak.
All right, strength. Who do you got?
Okay, so I went Aaron Donald.
Oh.
Because, and here's why. The first person that came to mind was Nick Chubb. Because
That's
we
who I
always
went
talk
with.
about that. Okay, so good. We're on the same wavelength. Here, I'll tell you why I picked Donald over him. So every time we've talked about Nick Chubb. Every time we see him lifting, it's squats, and he's literally squatting Delaware. And the bar is bending, and it's incredible.
It's built that way. It's a tsunami bar.
Well, whatever. It's 1,000,000 pounds on it, right? And you and I walk away impressed from that.
Yeah.
The thing about Aaron Donald, though, is you see more than just squat. You see him squat in Delaware. Mm-hmm. You see him bench press in Rhode Island. Mm-hmm. You see him deadlift. You follow me here? You see him deadlift in Texas. Like he's doing everything in the weight room. The only other person that comes to mind like that is James Harrison, but he's too old now. So I feel like Aaron Donald, fresh out of the game, he's probably still in tremendous shape. I'm going Aaron Donald.
I like that call. You could even stature. He's shorter than what we want. That's why we went NBA.
Who?
Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
But that's something.
Strength, just pure strength. I feel like he's total. Not that Chubb has he's benching 135 here, but I'm just saying I feel like Aaron Donald's more total body strength, if that makes sense.
Stamina. Who did you go with?
I went Michael Phelps. I just think.
Thinking the same thing. Yeah, I went someone different.
And I think I've said this to you before. In my career, the best athletes that I've covered, where I've done a story and I walk away being like, oh my God, like, how's this even a human being? Has always been combat athletes. But I had to, man, how lucky am I being where I'm from and where my career started? Michael Phelps, Baltimore, Katie Ledecky, Bethesda, Maryland. So
I didn't know she was
covered
Bethesda.
both. And walking away from both workouts. So Phelps was a more traditional story where I interviewed him in the pool and all that. Ledecky, I actually the story was about her in the weight room, her on land, her training not in the pool. So I was in both of their elements of training, in other words. And I walked away from those stories, not so much these are the greatest athletes I've ever seen, like I do when I cover a fighter, but I walked away thinking about stamina. I walked away being like, man, swimmers can do whatever all day long because swimming takes so much with your lungs and your, endurance. I think swimmers maybe are the best stamina. I mean, outside of like an ultra marathoner or something. So I'm gonna go Michael Phelps for stamina.
I went Katie Ledecky for stamina.
Right, there you go.
Bro, she holds the world record in the
There you
500-meter
go.
freestyle.
There you go.
The fact that she could swim and set a record, and
Right.
she's swimming for like 15 minutes.
Right. Swimmers, dog.
Swimming for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Can't wrap my mind around that.
Facts.
Because I don't care how in shape you are, you come out of the pool, you're hurting.
I'll take your word
You're
for it.
gassed.
I'll take your word for it.
All right, this is a good one. Personality. You got if you are our ideal Olympian, you have to be the media darling with the world watching you, do all the right things, say all the right things in the interview, and just be charismatic. Who do you go with
I
personality?
went Serena Williams.
Oh.
And I went Serena because she gave you the range her whole career. When she was young, she kind of played her position and played the background to her older sister Venus, who was kicking everyone's butt. Then when it was Serena's time, we saw a big personality. But we've also, over the course of her career, we saw Serena cuss people out. We saw Serena cry for both wins and losses. I just feel like Serena was pure. Like Serena was unapologetically her, but within the framework of being a star athlete. She wasn't a pain in the butt. She just was very like open and honest, and I respect that. I try to live like that. So I'm going Serena personality.
I'm victim of the moment.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
Nothing wrong with that. He's not much humble pie there, though.
And that's what I want.
Yeah, you want that dog.
We're winning.
You like that dog.
Yeah. I swear I'd go. He's a guy, and all the reports are coming out on the Netflix doc on the basketball players like receiver, yada, yada. He is owning the show. He
Facts.
can't have enough cameras on him.
Facts.
And everything he says, he's like, man, they got to adjust their game around me. Playing with Steph Curry, LeBron, KD, Devin Booker,
Yep.
all those guys. I go Anthony Edwards. All right, this is a really important one here.
Okay.
Heart.
Say it again.
Heart.
Clear eyes.
Full hearts. Can't lose, brother.
Texas forever.
What you got? What you got in your heart, brother?
I went Kobe.
Bam. Same.
I mean, bro, I'll tell you what did it for me. It wasn't all the mama mentality and all the championships and all that. That was great. But when Kobe popped his Achilles, and I've seen so many athletes do that, and they have to be carted off or whatever. And I'm not knocking them. I'm saying, like, it's the worst injury in sports. For Kobe to pop his, be more pissed than he was in pain, refuse to come out of the game, shoot his free throws, and then pretty much being forced out of the game, refuse to have help walking off. Like, get away from me, you MFers. I'll walk off on my own. Thanks. I'm Kobe. That's what did it for me when I was like, all right. Any hate, and I was a Kobe fan, so I didn't have any hate, but any like inkling of doubt or hate that I had in my heart for Kobe left that day, where I was like,
yeah,
man, bro just had the worst injury in sports and acted like no big deal.
His heart also went into his work ethic.
Facts.
Where his teammates would walk into a gym, he'd be dripping sweat, walking off, and they're getting in at 5 a.m. because he's getting all his shots up, all his workouts up before he even lifts and gets ready and practices that day. His heart goes into his work ethic. I was thinking Kobe for this one too, but IQ, I went with Andrew Luck. Stanford grad, played the hardest position in sports. Also, a very smart quarterback when he played. So I went Luck here.
All right, I'll save us time. I went 2-1. IQ and intangibles. I wrote the same name. I wrote Tom Brady.
I went through intangibles, leadership qualities. Brady. Mental strength. Brady. You got to be a good communicator upon your teammates and be relatable. Brady. Attention to detail. Brady. Intensity. Brady. And you know where I tried to find one intangible? I thought to myself, you're in Paris. You got to have steez. Who's stylish? Tom Brady.
Brady. Bro, I miss him every day. And in fact, if you want to talk Patriots with George and I, tune in to Foxborough Rush on Nesson's YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you follow us on all your social media accounts for all of our best content as well.
So ESPN dropped the rest of their top 100 athletes of the 21st century, so 2000 on.
All right.
From 10 to 1, Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
Usain Bolt. Tiger Woods.
Okay.
Simone Biles,
All right.
Roger Federer,
All right.
Tom Brady at 5,
5?
LeBron at 4, Messi at 3,
Okay.
Serena at 2,
All right.
and Michael Phelps at 1.
All right.
So I predicted the 1 and 2 of Phelps and Serena.
Yeah. I don't have
thought
a problem with that.
For 3, I put Tiger.
Okay.
I
don't
think
have a
he's
problem
low.
with that.
But Brady at 5, after Messi.
I mean, if you're going to put anyone over him, I guess Messi.
Messi
but
lost a lot on
He
his way
did.
there.
He did.
And I'm sorry, after LeBron, last time I checked, let's just start with it. 7 rings is more than 4.
Of course.
Okay. What's the hardest position in sports? Quarterback.
Yeah.
And what LeBron and Messi and Brady all have is longevity.
Yeah.
Brady did it from 2000 all the way until he retired. 20 plus years, 7 rings, went to 10 Super Bowls. Could have been 10 for 10 if he had a defense in 1, an offensive line in the other 2.
Facts.
I put Brady at 3. I think Brady should be ahead of LeBron and Messi. Messi
yeah.
lost a lot.
He did.
On his way to that World Cup. LeBron has lost a lot.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to separate LeBron from the way he runs teams when he gets there.
You put Brady over Tiger?
Yes.
Okay. That's one where I could kind of see it going
I
either
think
way.
Tiger is low at 8. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He won 2 of his majors before 2000 and the rest after.
Right.
And he's the greatest of all.
Yes.
I think I would put I would keep the top 5 because here's my thinking too. Like we're like Brady's 5, he's not even top 3. But what if like we were in a society of top 5? Because we always think gold, silver, bronze. Top 5, this top 5 is perfect, right? And if you go in any order, I'd be like, okay, I hear the case. But Brady, with that, he should be top 3. He should be number 3. It's
I
hard
don't
to
have
put
a
him
problem
over
with that.
Phelps and Serena in individual sports.
Sure.
Phelps, since 2008, 23 gold medals. That's it.
Yeah.
And Serena set the record for most majors won, most Grand Slam titles in tennis. Her last one, the record-setting one, she was 20 weeks pregnant when she won it.
Facts. Listen, here's one thing, because I would never defend ESPN for anything, but I guess you could look at the game of soccer from the global scale and say it is a bigger, more difficult sport to win in than the American-based football.
I want to like count up countries that are contenders.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
London.
if I'm writing this article for ESPN and I put Messi over Brady, I would think that would be part of my reasoning. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just picturing there's like 9 to 10 legit contenders. But in the NFL, you could say there's like 5 legit
That's what I'm
contenders
saying.
every year.
It's harder, bro. Soccer, international soccer is harder to win at than the Super Bowl, bro. It is.
It's also harder to be great at because for the same
Right.
reason, it's such a global sport.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. That's why I at least would understand the reasoning behind putting a Messi over Brady. Not saying I would. I agree with you, but I'm saying I at least get it.
I almost said London. I was thinking England.
For what?
I was like counting up contenders, and then Ante got in my ear. He goes, "London's not a country." I forgot England existed. If you had to go through 3, who do you think is
What, shocking?
not in the right spot? Because Brady at 5 is shocking.
All right, this
to
is
me.
what shocked me. John Jones at 66 is ridiculous. Like I already said in this episode, I think the best athletes on planet Earth
Yeah.
are combat sport athletes. For what they have to do, the endurance you need, the strength you need, the flexibility you need, the speed you need. And oh, by the way, someone's trying to take your head off. So it's literal survival. John Jones is the greatest combat sports athlete of all time. Boxing, MMA, doesn't matter. He's the GOAT. He's Brady for fighting. And he's 66th. Come on, dog. I don't know what the hell, are there no fight people at ESPN? I find that hard to believe.
Well, even though they broadcast the UFC
the
now.
actual carrier for the UFC has John Jones at 66.
George St. Pierre was high up on this.
He was too low as well. He was below John Jones.
Oh.
Floyd Mayweather was 25th. That's another one. Like, the thing about Floyd, I always defend because he was in my era. Like, I watched every fight from Floyd Mayweather. I remember his first fight back in 96. But Floyd never gets to credit for the pretty boy Floyd era. Yeah. Everyone just thinks Money Mayweather and the De La Hoya fight and Conor McGregor and Manny Pacquiao and these like circus fights. The reality is when he was pretty boy Floyd, when he was a young tycoon, He would stand and fight in the center of that ring. Diego Corrales, Jose Luis Castillo twice, Arturo Gatti, Zab Judah. I mean, these are titans and guys who are known for being punchers. And he stood right in there and banged with them in the center of the ring and won. He doesn't get enough credit for that. Him at 25th is ridiculous. And then Katie Ledecky at 15th. If you're telling me Michael Phelps is number one, cool, no problem. Most decorated Olympian of all time for men. She's the most decorated of all time for women in the exact same sport.
Yeah.
She's 15th.
It got tennis heavy at the top.
She's 15th.
We saw literally Federer going from highest rank to lowest. Federer, then Djokovic, Nadal, and then Serena's too. Got very tennis heavy at the top.
Just saying. So those are my three.
How many tennis writers did they pull? I thought Lewis Hamilton at 19 was too low. Because I would bump Katie Ledecky up, and I would actually have Lewis go top 15.
Fair.
7-time world champion.
Yep.
Ties Michael Schumacher for that.
Yep.
And if Mercedes didn't mess around with their car too much the last couple of years trying to get ahead of adjustments made with regulations, he would have been a closer contender to Red Bull, I believe. Or if Max Verstappen didn't have the most perfect car, he could be at 8 already. By the way, Max did take a world title from him literally on the last race of the calendar year in 2021.
Wow.
So it came down to the wire. But it's Lewis Hamilton. It's also what he does all-encompassing in this. First and only black F1 driver.
Right.
In a sport deep with deep pockets. Lance Stroll drives for Aston Martin. You want to know why? His dad, Lawrence Stroll, owns the team.
Wow.
Billionaire.
Wow.
Logan Sargent, awful. He's connected to a billionaire family. Charles Leclerc, the best driver for Ferrari, grew up in Monaco. What does that have to say about that? Max Verstappen, second-generation driver. Lewis Hamilton's dad had to work 4 jobs while Lewis was growing up. He would sleep like 2-3 hours a day to work on his car, would work on his go-kart, and Lewis overcame all of that, found his way to the McLaren Academy, was the youngest world champion ever, and after he won his first, he repeated where he was down mid-season, both repeats, both second and third world champions, and then he four-peated. That's how he got to 7th. And he's not done. He's going to Ferrari next year. With their management team, he can definitely get an 8th, but no matter what, he is the greatest driver of all time. Tied for most world championships, most pole positions, most podiums, most wins.
Bro got
And he's
swag,
still
too.
in the top. And he's an icon in
And
the
he
sport.
got swag.
For everything he does.
Yep.
And then Calvin Johnson at 57. You're telling me Randy Moss at 27, but Calvin's at 57?
Yeah, it's weird.
Neither has a ring. Calvin Johnson broke 2,000 yards.
Facts.
Or he got close to it, excuse me.
Megatron.
And he was in an awful franchise his entire career. He's the best receiver of all time, in my opinion. He should be 27. Lewis Hamilton won, though. I was happy he broke top 20, but we'll see. So all this talk of 21st century, we're going to end with this.
Okay.
Give me, for the 6 states in New England,
Okay.
your top 6 New England athletes of the 21st century.
Top 6 New England. So they don't necessarily have to be born here, just played for
If
teams.
they're
or
born
whatever.
here,
Okay.
they played college here, or they
Okay.
played professionally here. Just at some point, either they were born or their athletic career took them to New England.
Sorry, Matt Ryan, you didn't make my list.
Yeah, I thought
I'm
about it
going
now.
Tommy,
Yep.
Gronk,
Okay.
Poppy, Bergeron, KG.
Oh.
Ready for a curveball? Not a literal curveball like Pedro. Nope. John Cena.
Can't hate.
Let's go.
Massachusetts, born and raised for Cena.
I mean, he's Mount Rushmore for wrestling.
Yes. All those guys are that you named for the sport, except for Bergeron, maybe.
Except Bergeron.
But that's because hockey is so rich with history.
Well, he's Mount Rushmore for Bruins.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And Ortiz is Mount Rushmore for Red
Absolutely.
Sox.
Absolutely.
And designated hitters.
Absolutely.
I know he's a DH. He'll get knocked.
Absolutely.
I went Tom Brady,
Okay.
David Ortiz,
Okay.
Patrice Bergeron,
Okay.
Jason Tatum.
Ooh.
Ready for these last 2?
Ooh.
Jack Eichel,
He's from
born
here.
in North Chelmsford,
Okay.
went to BU, won the Hobie Baker, second freshman to ever do it, led
Wow.
the country in scoring, took BU to the Frozen Four, where they lost to Providence 4-3 in the national championship game
Jeez.
over a very questionable call, and a Stanley Cup winner.
Yeah,
he started
yes.
his career here. He won the Cup in Vegas. Las Vegas doesn't win the Cup without Jack Eichel.
Facts.
Finally, Allie Raisman.
She's from here?
Born in Needham. I think she lives in Southie, 3-time Olympic gold medalist.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a good ass list.
Because I was like, there has to be an Olympian somewhere here. 21st century, we're talking.
Yeah.
Because people would be like, what about Bobby Orr?
No, 21st
You know,
century.
What about John Hanna? But Ortiz, to me, 3 rings. This is our effing city. What he meant to Boston.
Yeah, of course.
One of the most clutch hitter of all time. I know he's a designated hitter, but the hardest thing you can do in a sport is hit a baseball.
No doubt.
The hardest position is quarterback. The hardest thing to do is hit a baseball. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback. David Ortiz is the greatest clutch hitter. Bergeron debuted when he was 18 years old and literally grew to be an adult and win a cup and ended the drought for the Bruins. Tatum, the Celtics was the toughest one. Because I was going through this, I'm like, I can't leave the Celtics off. I like Kevin Garnett. I was thinking Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
Best player on that team. Played his whole career here until he went to Brooklyn. Finals MVP. But Tatum, 4-time All-Pro, 3-time first team. Ended the drought like Paul Pierce did.
Yeah.
Is the best player on the team.
We did it!
Yeah. Anything is possible.
Mine's
Kevin Garnett's
better.
copied him.
Clearly.
Kevin Garnett, I would have liked to.
Absolutely.
Eichel outlined it, and Ali Raisman outlined it.
Wow. Hey, we'll be on the 21st century local broadcaster list, you and I.
I like that.
Right?
All right, let's put it out
They
there.
might be arguing who's the 1 seed, and clearly it's going to be you. But at
No, I was
least
gonna
I'm
say
in
it's
the
you.
conversation.
I was going to say it's you.
No, it's you.
I take on after you.
Hey, as long as we're on the list, I don't give a damn.
It's also, now imagine if you went all time from New England. Rocky Marciano. Patrick Ewing was born in Cambridge.
I mean,
Rebecca
marvelous
Lobo.
Marvin Hagler out of Brockton.
Tony Conigliaro. Tony C, all-time Red Sox legend.
Yeah.
And then you go into the Matt Ryans, what he did for Boston College that one
Absolutely.
season.
He almost made this list for me now.
You could
but
go
I just
top
didn't.
6, all New England Patriots. You could
Yeah.
go top 6, all Celtics. KG Pierce, Tatum, Brown,
Mad
Bird,
Red Sox, too. Mad Red Sox.
McHale,
Yeah.
Parrish,
Yeah.
Kuzi. A lot of Red Sox on this one. Because even going 21st century, the best Pedro was the late 90s, but you can still go Pedro effective, crucial. Manny, Pedroia, Ortiz. Chris Sale, what he meant in 2018.
Who's just your personal favorite Boston athlete of all time?
Personal favorite Boston athlete of all time, Tom Brady.
Not even close.
Not
Maybe
even
you
close.
almost got to ask other than Tom. Other than Tom, who's your favorite? Because, yeah, you're right. Tom's like a layup, right?
Patrice Bergeron.
Really?
Yes.
See, I'm glid I asked that question.
Making
'Cause
up,
I wouldn't think that.
making up an Olympian, Patrice Bergeron could have checked a lot of boxes for that too.
Facts,
Yeah, personality.
leadership,
I'd
personality,
go Bergeron.
tough, intangibles. Yeah,
All
you're right.
So Sox start off second half of the season tonight in Dodger Stadium. Hottest team in baseball against the best team in baseball. Finish this sentence for me. The Red Sox will make the playoffs. They're in the current last wild card spot. They will make the playoffs if
They will make the playoffs if they avoid catastrophic injuries. As they are constructed right now, I feel comfortable saying this team will make the playoffs. What I need is an active trade deadline from the Red Sox.
Yes.
Because the AL right now feels very wide open to me. It really does. There's no dominant team that scares me. I know everyone loves the O's. Cool. They just got here. They don't know what they're doing yet. So an active Red Sox at the trade deadline, go out and get an arm or two. You go out and get another bat in this lineup. All of a sudden, you're having a conversation like, can the Red Sox win the American League? And the answer is hell to the yes. So they're going to make the playoffs as long as they stay healthy, no catastrophic injuries. I believe they'll make it.
if the pitching holds up, if Rafael Devers stays healthy, if Jarren Duran sustains his play because
Wait,
he's
how
played
many
every game
blanks
this
are we
season.
filling in?
I have a lot of commas. I don't have a
Good
period.
God.
If they add a left-handed pitcher to the rotation, and if they add a left-handed bat to the lineup, an effective bat. I got a checklist of 5 things.
That's a lot of things.
Devers needs to stay healthy. Jarren Duran needs to sustain his play because of the lifting, the boost that him and Ceddanne Rafaela provide between their two bats.
Sure.
And especially what they do on the bags when they get on base, where they've changed their whole approach to hitting in general. It's no longer dip and jack. It's get on base, put the pressure on, and the bats will get you home.
They play old school almost.
Love it. Team of
Manufacture
grinders.
runs. That's right.
Houck, Cutter Crawford doing great.
Yep.
They need help in the pen.
I like Evaldi. I think Evaldi can be had from Texas.
Nasty
Bring him back.
Nate, bring him back.
Bring him back.
He's been great for the Rangers. Got his ring out there.
That's what I'm saying. And they're not good. They should be sellers.
And bring that championship leadership back to
Fans
this team.
love Evaldi here.
Oh, I
Bring
think
him
he's
back
great.
with open arms, and he can help you once you get to the postseason.
He knows how to pitch.
That's
in
right.
The playoffs too. You only had. I had 5. I just outdid you. on
That's
that
a
one.
lot of blanks. I just thought it was one. You know what? Stay healthy. The end.
You
My
kept-
man had a laundry list.
You had catastrophic injuries. You kept it plural. I caught that.
You're like-
Kramer's everything.
When my wife sends me a store, she's like, "We need eggs, water. We also need this, that." I'm like, "Wait a minute. Just one thing at a time."
The one thing you guys can do, subscribe, like, rate, review. Boston has entered the chat wherever you get your podcasts. Appreciate you all listening along. If you're watching, appreciate that as well. He's Travis Thomas. I'm George Bilecki. This is it for Boston has entered the chat in the PNC Bank studio. We'll see you guys on Monday. Later.